Good evening, I'm John Carter. Welcome to Poland Daily. Preparations for the Polish Papal Day are underway. On this special day, Poles commemorate the nomination of Karol Wojtyła for the highest position in the Catholic Church, which took place on October the 16th, 1978. Celebrations have begun today and are taking place in Warsaw.
Although Papal Day is celebrated this Sunday, October 13th, the celebrations associated with it have begun today. At the Royal Castle in Warsaw, a meeting of the Council of the Foundation Work for the New Millennium took place, which is the coordinator of the celebration of Papal Day. At the same time, the Foundation's scholarship holders gathered at the Castle Square and danced a joyful folk dance, the Chapel was. Because of the Foundation scholarship, I could go to high school in a larger city, but most of all, it is the people you meet.
Do Jana Pawła II bardzo długo dążyłam.
I was searching for John Paul II for a long time, looking for a way to understand him, how to make him a part of my life. Now he became my inner strength.
Taką wewnętrzną siłą dla mnie.
Papal Day has been celebrated for 19 years, every Sunday preceding the date of the election of Pope John Paul II, October 16, 1978. This year the slogan is "Rise, let's go." During Papal Day, money is collected for scholarships for talented young people from poor families. The work of the New Millennium Foundation was established in 1999. A few hundred individuals received scholarships from this fund after the organization of the pilgrimage, and it just kept on growing. The next point of Saturday's celebrations of Papal Day is the solemn gala of the Totus Tuus Awards, also called the Catholic Nobel Prizes.
Te nagrody powstały jeszcze za jego życia.
These awards were established during the life of John Paul II and every year are awarded in 4 categories: promotion of human dignity, achievements in the field of Christian culture, Totus Tuus named after Bishop Jan Hrapek, as well as promoting the teaching of St. John Paul II.
Dla upamiętnienia.
Tomorrow's celebrations will begin with a morning mass in the Holy Cross Church in Warsaw and will end with a solemn concert at the Temple of Divine Providence.
Around 50,000 fans gathered for the funeral of legendary Czech singer Karol Gott. The ceremonies took place in Prague, where a solemn Holy Mass was held. During his career, Gott was awarded with the Czech Nightingale Award 42 times, having released over 100 albums.
Ale je to dobrák, altruista, vždyť mi dal tebe, domov, přístav, a v něm si ty.
Fans of Karol Gott said their farewells to their idol on Friday at the Zofin Palace in Prague. Between 8 a.m. and 11:45 p.m. around 50,000 people marched in front of the casket of the so-called Golden Nightingale. Karol was a unique man and he will be with us forever because he was great. He had huge success and he remained popular and modest. This is the last salute to show him respect. I will never forget about him. The music will live forever.
Also die Musik wird weiterleben.
Polish singer Andrzej Dąbrowski had the opportunity to meet Karol Gott in the 70s during a short concert in East Germany. Karol Gott was a phenomenal singer and a fantastic artist, hugely popular in all of Europe and especially in former East Germany, where he recorded many of his albums. It's a huge loss for the entire singing world. There are no others like him. Karol Gott was born on July 14, 1939 in Pilsen, West Czechoslovakia. He was an electrician by profession, although he started his singing career when he was only 18. He passed away on Tuesday, October 1st, after struggling with a difficult disease. He was 80 years old. Over time, Gott became a symbol of Czech music and a widely recognized icon.
At least 5 ISIS terrorists have escaped from the Navkur prison near Kamlishi in northeastern Syria. The prisoners managed to take advantage of Turkish mortar shelling of the Kurdish forces guarding the prison to make a dash for it. Meanwhile, there are incoming reports of unrest in the largest refugee camp in Syria, Al-Hol, which houses tens of thousands of women and children of ISIS fighters.
Women affiliated with the Islamic State attacked security officials with sticks and stones during what is being described as the largest case of unrest at Syria's infamous Al-Hol camp so far. The ISIS women are held by Kurdish-led forces in northeastern Syria, the region where Turkey has recently launched attacks. Marwan Kamishlo, a media official with the Syrian Democratic Forces or SDF, said that the incident at Al-Hol camp started in the foreigners section and involved more people than previous trouble that had occurred at the camp. The camp holds tens of thousands of people, nearly all of them women and children who were transferred from Islamic State territory captured by the US and backed by SDF earlier this year. Kurdish officials are warning that Islamic State detainees could break out of detention as Kurdish-led security forces confront the new Turkish offensive in northern Syria and their ability to guard detainees is weakened.
Turkey's invasion of Kurdish-held areas in northeastern Syria has left EU leaders fearing a drastic increase in migration flows from Turkey to Europe. The topic of immigration was high on the agenda of today's informal meeting of 14 EU member state presidents in Athens.
Presidents from across Europe have called for better cooperation in handling the brewing migration crisis in the Mediterranean Sea. The presidents of the Area's group of 14 EU member states, including Balkan countries such as Croatia, Bulgaria and Slovenia, gathered in Athens to discuss migration and how conflicts, climate change and the economy creates migrant flows from Africa and Asia. The German President Frank-Walter Steinmeier argued that Europeans have to accept that large migration flows will be the norm for the foreseeable future.
I agree that we need to do more to protect our external borders. But at the end, we also cannot ignore that people will continue to come to Europe. That is part of this new reality in the world, and we will have to deal with jointly, hopefully, as a union.
The Bulgarian President Roman Radev, on the other hand, believes that a proactive EU could put a stop to migratory flows.
Our priorities and actions so far clearly show that we are mainly focused on dealing with the consequences and not with the reasons. We are over-focused on reacting to the security environment, while other strategic players shape that environment in accordance to their interests, and they leave the migrant pressure coming on us.
As no consensus has been reached on how to handle the issue, the EU remains vulnerable to the recent threat made by Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan to open the gates and send 3.6 million Syrian migrants to Europe.
Thank you very much for joining me here this evening on Poland Daily. I'm John Carter. Stay tuned after the break for Poland Daily Weather. It's followed by the business, then it's the culture, history, and then finally the travel.